The Spartan phalanx didn't become invincible by accident. They didn't dominate ancient warfare because they were stronger. They didn't win because they were fearless. And they certainly didn't win because they loved battle more than everyone else. They won because of a brutal, calculated intersection of gear mechanics, logistics, and military tactics that most history documentaries completely ignore.
Advance! Keep the line! No quarter! Run, they are upon us! Scatter! Fall back!
History books often focus on the warriors, but warriors were only one piece of the machine. The real weapon was the system, a system so disciplined that every shield, every spear, every ration, every marching order, and every formation movement had a specific purpose. And if just one component failed, the entire wall could collapse. For history enthusiasts, the Spartan phalanx has become the gold standard of military history. But to understand why it worked, you have to stop looking at individual Spartans. Instead, look at the machinery of war they built around them. Because Sparta's greatest weapon wasn't a soldier, it was logistics, and the battlefield mechanics that transformed ordinary men into what looks like an unbreakable wall. But there was one fatal weakness hidden inside this system, a weakness that eventually changed the balance of power across Greece. We'll get to that in a moment. Look at this detail. The most important weapon carried by a Spartan wasn't designed primarily to protect its owner. It was designed to protect someone else. The aspis, also known as the hoplon. The shield measured approximately 3 feet in diameter. It weighed around 14 pounds. Constructed from layered wood and reinforced with bronze, it represented the centerpiece of Spartan battlefield engineering. Most people assume a shield is simply defensive equipment. For Sparta, it was something much more important. It was structural support. The shield covered the left half of the Spartan carrying it, but it also extended over the right side of the soldier standing next to him. This created the famous overlap. Suddenly, survival became collective. If one soldier abandoned his position, he exposed not only himself, but multiple men beside him. One gap could spread through the entire line. One mistake could trigger defeat. This is battle logistics in its purest form. The hardware dictated behavior. The equipment enforced discipline. The design itself encouraged cohesion. That's why Spartan mothers were famously associated with the phrase, "Return with your shield or on it." A spear could be replaced. Armor could be repaired. But abandoning the shield meant abandoning the formation, and abandoning the formation endangered the entire army. The aspis wasn't simply protection, it was social engineering made from wood and bronze. And it was only the beginning. Because a shield alone cannot win battles. Most people see the Spartan helmet as a symbol, a piece of intimidating bronze armor, a warrior's signature look. But the helmet served a deeper tactical purpose. The most famous Spartan helmets, particularly the Corinthian style, covered nearly the entire head. Only narrow openings remained for the eyes. Small gaps allowed breathing. Everything else disappeared behind bronze. That sounds like a design flaw. Limited vision, reduced hearing, poor comfort. But Sparta accepted those disadvantages deliberately, because the helmet forced soldiers to focus forward. In a phalanx, a warrior wasn't supposed to watch everything happening around him. He wasn't fighting as an individual. He was part of a formation. Wide peripheral vision encouraged independent reactions. The helmet encouraged discipline. Look forward, maintain position, trust the men beside you. The psychological effect mattered too. Imagine facing a wall of bronze faces showing no emotion, no fear, no hesitation. Just rows of identical soldiers advancing together. The helmet helped transform individual men into a single military machine. But there was a cost. Limited visibility made flank attacks even more dangerous. Reduced hearing complicated battlefield communication. The same design that strengthened frontal cohesion contributed to the phalanx's vulnerability when enemies attacked from unexpected directions. Once again, Spartan equipment reveals the same pattern. Every piece of gear strengthened the system, but every strength carried a trade-off. A phalanx is only as strong as its ability to remain standing. And that's where Spartan armor became far more important than most people realize. The bronze cuirass protected the chest and vital organs. Bronze greaves shielded the lower legs. Together, they transformed the human body into a platform, capable of absorbing punishment while maintaining formation integrity. Modern audiences often assume armor existed primarily to prevent death. In reality, its battlefield value was often preventing disruption. A wounded soldier could create chaos. A fallen soldier could open a gap, and a gap could unravel an entire line. The armor helped reduce those risks. Even when a strike failed to penetrate, the protection absorbed energy that might otherwise force a soldier backward. That mattered during Othismos, because victory often depended on maintaining pressure. The longer a hoplite remained upright, the longer the formation remained intact. The longer the formation remained intact, the greater the chance of breaking the enemy's cohesion. But armor came with a cost. Bronze added weight. Weight increased fatigue. Fatigue increased logistical demands. Every additional pound required more food, more endurance, and more discipline during long marches. Once again, Spartan military engineering reveals the same pattern. Every advantage carried a burden. Every improvement demanded a sacrifice. The armor didn't make Spartans invincible. It made them durable. And durability was exactly what a phalanx needed to function as a single battlefield machine. Now the machine had protection. It had cohesion. It had staying power. What it still needed was reach, because a shield wall can hold ground. But to dominate the battlefield, Sparta needed something capable of striking the enemy before he could strike back. That weapon was the dory. The dory. The standard Spartan spear measured between 7 and 9 feet long. This weapon gave the phalanx its reach. Before swords ever came into play, enemy soldiers had to survive a forest of spear points. Imagine standing in the front rank. Your shield overlaps with your neighbor's. Your spear extends beyond the wall. Now multiply that by hundreds of men. The enemy isn't facing one Spartan. They're facing an entire hedge of iron points. The spearhead delivered the attack. But another interesting detail sat at the opposite end. The bronze butt spike, called the sparta or lizard killer. This served several functions. If the spear broke, it became a secondary weapon. If rough terrain threatened stability, it could help anchor the spear. And after battle, it could be used in close combat when formations collapsed. Again, Spartan equipment wasn't designed for individual duels. It was designed for system efficiency. Every component had multiple functions. Every ounce of weight served a purpose. Every tool contributed to the effectiveness of the formation. But carrying this gear created another challenge. How do you keep thousands of heavily equipped soldiers moving and fighting? The answer reveals why logistics often decides war long before the first spear is thrown. History lovers often focus on battles. Generals focus on supply, because armies march on food long before they march on courage. A Spartan hoplite carried substantial weight. Shield, spear, helmet, armor, greaves, personal equipment. Combined, the load could exceed 60 pounds. Now imagine moving thousands of soldiers, carrying that weight across mountains and valleys. Every mile consumed energy. So here's the question. Could the Spartan phalanx have defeated the later Roman legion? Would Spartan discipline overcome Roman flexibility? Or would the legion's adaptability expose the fatal flaw hidden inside the phalanx? Drop your answer in the comments. And if you're a history enthusiast who loves ancient warfare, military tactics, strategy, geopolitics, alliances, battle logistics, and the mechanics behind history's greatest victories and defeats, subscribe to Tactical Historian, because next time, we're not just telling history, we're dissecting how history was won,